everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of the Gen Next Community Talk Series. Today we have Crystal Zens, the Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters Lacombe, and our Gen Next co-chair, Dennis O'Dwyer. And they are going to be talking about what is happening with Big Brothers Big Sisters and how they're navigating through this COVID-19 pandemic. So enjoy, and we'd love to see some comments, some engagement on the feed once this is up on social. I'll pass it over to you, Dennis.
Thank you for that, Farron. So I guess I'll just add a little bit of information on, if you're new to this, what the Gen Next Community Talk series is about. So we're having conversations with local community groups to get a bit of an understanding of how they're dealing with the situation we all find ourselves in with COVID-19, as well as finding out a little bit of information on what we can do to maybe assist, or if there's anything they're looking for from the general public, because I know people are wanting to give back as well. So today we have Crystal from Big Brothers Big Sisters in Lacombe, and she's going to share a little bit of information with us about what we can do to help. First off, for those who don't know, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is a mentoring program that puts youth with mentors in order to help them with anything that they're looking for. So it's really designed as a program, as a mentoring system, and the purpose that they have is to be leaders in providing Canada's young people with the highest quality volunteer-backed mentoring programs, which I think is a fantastic purpose to have. So on that note, Crystal, tell us a little bit about Big Brothers Big Sisters Lacombe.
So our agency has been operating in our city since 1989. Our service area has grown quite a bit. We serve all the way from Eckville, Bentley, Clive, Alex, and Black Falls as our main triangle of service. We've been funded by United Way for our core programs for many, many years. They've really been the backbone. Through the COVID-19 events, so much of our funding disappeared overnight. We were just about to have an Alberta gaming casino. The major funder for our building had to pause funding, as well as our WestJet raffle. We had those tickets ready to go. We fund about $8,000 worth of our programs through WestJet every year. So those tickets got deleted, and that's totally understandable. So I think all in all, we lost $80,000 to $90,000 in just a couple of weeks of sustainable funding. And United Way was one of the ones that stood the test of time, and the funding came through, and they've even provided much of our COVID programming funding as well, along with Red Deer Community Foundation from the federal government. So that is a little bit of background. We have 2 core programs, community mentoring and in-school mentoring. So when COVID hit, we had to close all our in-school matches. And we put all of our community matches virtually mentoring. So either through text, Facebook, or however the matches felt comfortable meeting, through social media, playing games online. It was very positive at first, because it was like, oh, this is fun and new, and everyone was very excited about it. And now people just want to meet face to face again. And we're just going through our calling list and phoning all the matches, see how they're doing. This is really wearing on our kids. And I think not really seeing like this is the end date of how things will go back to normal is really hard on the kids. And I think we're seeing it mostly in the junior high age, I think would be the hardest hit, mentally coping with COVID-19 and all the restrictions and changes. But our mentors have been there for the kids and reaching out and still connecting. A lot of our matches are 7 to 10 years old already, so they have a really good foundation with the families and the youth. Besides the core mentoring programs, we were able to get funding for our Hot Lunch Porch program, which is the first food security program that we at our agency have ever facilitated. And so once a week, we have restaurants prepare the food and we deliver to their porches. So it's been nice to see the kids face to face, even if it's from the bottom of the stairs, and talk with them. And many of the kids have written United Way thank you letters this week, so we're excited to give those out to back to United Way from our kids, as well as they say it's the highlight of their week. They can't wait till we come. And if I'm 5 minutes late, I know it, because they're wondering where we are. So I hope school resumes like normal in September, but it will probably look different in some different way. But just that routine for our kids has been really difficult, and for our families as well. That's just a brief update. Do you have any questions about that? Or?
Yeah, by all means, Crystal. And thanks for sharing all of that. I mean, I just learned that you do a lot more than just the mentoring part. That food security piece is really interesting. I didn't know that was a piece of it. I guess the first question I would ask is there an increased need for mentors at this time?
Yes, because usually we have an intake quite regularly. And as well, we had a lot of mentors in the middle of the screening process. So when COVID-19 happened and we shut our office, and then criminal record checks weren't being able to be ordered or produced, everything sort of got put on hold. So now there is a backlog of that work to be done to get mentors through and screened properly, trained, interviewed, matched. So that's a big piece to keeping kids off our wait list, for sure. And we've had more kids referred in the last few weeks just because the parents see a need and would like extra resources. We also have a need for devices. So lots of our kids don't have devices to do their online schooling. So the community has been fantastic about donating refurbished devices, and we've delivered quite a few of those in the last month to get them out to the kids, as well as many of our kids are raised by their grandparents, so it's a learning curve for them to do online schooling and help with the homeschooling piece. So we also are launching Tutoring Tuesday online through Zoom, so I hope that will help some of those needs be addressed as well.
What specific devices are you looking at?
Well, the schools use Google Chrome or Chromebooks, but we can take in laptops, tablets. We've had a variety of devices. And we just restart them or ask the owners to restart them from factory setting, and then they can go out to the kids and get them online for sure.
Okay, perfect. So you've mentioned a number of things that kind of people can assist with. You've talked about a need for mentors. You've talked about an increased families that are interested in the programs. You spoke a little bit about the devices that are there. Is there anything else that anyone from the community can do to assist with Big Brothers Big Sisters out of Lacombe?
We've been pretty quiet on the fundraising front just because we're sensitive to what all our local businesses are going through and all our families in our areas served are going through, but we are starting to opening up fundraising. So we did a raffle last month that raised $2,000. This month we're doing a bottle drop or bottle pickup, so you can text us and we'll come pick up your bottles. And you can find that information on our Facebook or Instagram. So we're hoping to generate some revenue from our bottle. It's not really a bottle drive, but a bottle drop pickup. That's going on all next week, and that will help fund our COVID relief programs. We were really sad for the first time in 13 years to cancel our Kids and Cops mentoring program. That's a program that we open up to the whole community. And so we're really sad because we're usually in gear mode planning that and with both the RCMP and Black Falls and the Lacombe Police. So that's different. We want to get out to the community that program won't be happening this year. The essential services are busier than ever, and we weren't sure even about the Alberta regulations if we could have camp, and it was supposed to be the first week of July. So that is canceled for this year. But the COVID relief programs are definitely keeping us busy. It's a learning curve for everybody, moving your life online. And hopefully we don't have to do that forever, because our matches really are begging us to meet face to face. And they don't seem to have COVID concerns, though we will have new restrictions in place and new guidelines. And United Way supplied us with the Canadian Tire masks, so those will go out to our matches for when they're matching. So that will be pretty awesome too, that we can provide that PPE for our matches, which I never thought we'd have to, but yeah, the new way we're operating.
So you mentioned a number of things there that people can do to assist, and I guess it sounds like there's bottle drives. There's a lot of things that you're looking to do on this. Would it be best if people were to go to the Facebook page to get all the information that they need?
For sure, yeah. Our Facebook page is Big Brothers Big Sisters Lacombe. Our Instagram is BBBS Lacombe, or they can just phone our office and we can give some direction too. But we can do text to pick up as well to make it easier, so people don't have to come all the way to us. But we will have a trailer here that we're hoping to fill as well.
Perfect. Fantastic. Well, I'll see if I've got some extra bottles hanging around.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So thank you. And I guess I would just ask before we kind of close off, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up that you want to make sure people who are watching this can understand about Big Brothers Big Sisters Lacombe?
I think our programs are really needed at a time like this. I've worked in childcare and youth care and with children's charities since 1995. And since then, I've always been able to sort of read the psychology of maybe what kids are going through, how things impact them, how we can help them in the best way. But the COVID-19 experience is really concerning to me as a children's charity operator, of how this is impacting our kids long term, how the family dynamic is. Many of our schools are the safety net for some of our kids. And I guess I just have some really strong concerns that mentors could be an added asset to the family component now more than ever. So if you're thinking of mentoring, this is a really great time, because I don't think in my history of working with kids have ever seen something this detrimental that could be to long term. And so I guess mentoring does make a difference. A couple of years ago, we celebrated a 40-year match, like 40. So often the mentors stay in the kids' lives forever, even when the kid is an adult. It's a great program, has great support. It one-on-one makes a huge impact in the child's life and the family's life, and then in our community. Many of our kids grow up, and when they're teens, they become mentors themselves and still have a mentor. So it's a really awesome program, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of, and there's huge need right now because of the COVID-19 impact.
I would say before we kind of close and talk about what's coming up next, that the call to action I think I'd have for everybody here is, first and foremost, think about becoming a mentor with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Secondly, if you've got some devices that you're not using, maybe reach out to see if there's an opportunity to assist with that. Thirdly, bottle drives, as well as constantly checking the Facebook page that you've mentioned to see if there's anything else that they can do to support, as well as thinking about helping out from a fundraising perspective as well. So it sounds like there's a lot of calls to action here, and I guess we'd ask everybody if they can to try and see what way they can help out. I'm thinking about what ways I can help out right now too. So thank you for that, Crystal.
Awesome. And every little bit helps. Central Alberta has wonderful humans in it. We're a very lucky community of Central Albertans. So every little thing that someone could find a way to do helps in a big way.
I really like hearing how much the good that we're doing, and the good that United Way does as an organization, not just during COVID times, but during all the other periods as well. So that's fantastic to hear. My call to action for everyone, besides all of that, is to make sure that they follow us on social media. We are having these talks consistently, and we're trying to make sure we're bringing light concerns, just like Crystal's brought up with Big Brothers Big Sisters Lacombe, as well as other locations. So please join us again on our next call so you can find out what else you can do to help the community. Is there anything else?
Thank you so much for this opportunity to advocate for our kids, and thank you so much to United Way for really being our big brother. So thank you so much.
Thank you to Crystal for joining us. And I was wondering if maybe you could share one of the United Way. I heard you said there was some United Way letters from the kids. Is it possible to share with one of those today with us?
We're all good. Now you would like me to read a couple of the letters?
Yeah, I thought that would be neat to hear.
Okay, so this one is from 3 children and their mom. So the first child says, "Thank you for the pizza on Fridays. We appreciate it a lot." The second child says, "Thank you for the hot lunch. Fridays are my favorite." The third child, thank you for the pizza and the Doritos.
Aw.
And the mom says, thank you so much for providing hot lunch for my children. I really appreciate it. And this one, thank you for providing us hot lunch. We have enjoyed them so much. It makes easier, a lot more fun at home.
That's nice.
Those are
And
fantastic.
thank you for the funding for this program in these troubled times. It was all really good food, and I believe it made my kids very happy. I hope you have a nice day, and I can't read it quite. And thank you for providing funding like this. Thank you for bringing us the food on Fridays. It's very, very yummy. So that's a few of them anyways that I have collected today.
Thank you for sharing those. It's
Now
very
you have to
for me.
edit it because I had a hard time reading the writing.
Thank you, Crystal. That's fantastic. And thanks for coming on to do this as well. It's really appreciated.
Yes, thank you for your guys' time and all your work that you're doing right now.